Brilliance Audio presents In Bed with the Duke by Christina Dodd, performed by Karen Cass. Mauricadia, 1849. The four-piece ensemble ceased playing, and with exquisite timing, Comte Cloutier delivered the line sure to command the attention of all the guests within earshot.
"Have you heard, Lady Lettice, of the ghost who rides in the night?"
Suddenly he commanded the attention of the Englishman Michael Durant, heir apparent to the Duke of Nevitt. There had been little to interest him at Lord and Lady Thibault's exclusive ball. It was an exact clone of every English ball he had ever attended, and indeed of every Prussian ball, every French ball, every Venetian ball. He had made the grand tour, and discovered that the wealthy imitated one another to the point of boredom. Now, tonight, the musicians played, the guests danced, the food was fashionable, and the gambling room was full. Prince Sandra and his henchmen circulated, lending the patina of royalty to the gathering. But of useful reports there had been nothing. Until now. And now Michael knew only because Cloutier failed to comprehend the seriousness of his faux pas. He failed to realize that by tomorrow he would be gone, thrown out of Mauricadia and travelling back to France, while cursing his own penchant for gossip. With every evidence of interest, Michael strolled closer to stand near the group of suitors surrounding Lady Lettice Surtees. "A ghost?" Lady Lettice gave a tiny, high-pitched scream worthy of a young girl's alarm. "No, pray tell, what does this ghost do?" Before Cloutier could answer, she swung around to her paid companion, a girl of perhaps 20, and snapped, "Make yourself useful, girl. Fan me. Dancing with so many admirers is quite fatiguing." The girl, a poor downtrodden wisp of a thing with a lace cap set over dull brown hair, nodded mutely. From the large reticule she wore attached to her waist, she withdrew an ivory and lace fan, took her place at Lady Lettice's right shoulder, and fanned her abruptly flushed and sweating mistress. Lady Lettice complained. "It's too warm in here. Don't you agree it's warm in here, Lord Escobar?" Escobar hovered at her left elbow.
"Indeed, you are right, Signorita. An unseasonably warm summer evening."
It was a gross flattery to call Lady Lettice Signorita. She was a widow, in her early 40s, with the beginnings of the jowls that would plague her old age. But her bosoms were impressive, and displayed to advantage by her immodestly low-cut ruffled bodice, and her waist was made tiny by her stays, which had been tightened enough to impede her breathing and make the dancing, as she said, fatiguing. None of that really mattered, because Lady Lettice was wealthy, and the half-dozen men around her knew it. They jockeyed for position beside her gilded chair, offering cool goblets of champagne, smiling toothily, and behind her back, examining the debutantes lined up along the wall, girls who were prettier and far younger, but without the necessary riches to make a good match. "So, Cloutier, tell me about this ghost." Lady Lettice withdrew a white cotton handkerchief from between her breasts and blotted her damp upper lip.
"This ghost, he is called the Reaper. He rides at night, in utter silence, a massive white figure in fluttering rags, atop a giant white horse. His skin is death, his clothes are rags, and where his eyes should be there are only black holes. A terrifying apparition, yet the peasants whisper of him fondly, claiming he is the spectre of Reynaldo, dead 200 years, and the lost king of Mauricadian blood."
"Peasants," Lady Lettice said contemptuously. "Peasants know nothing."
"I would not argue with you there," Cloutier agreed. "But not only peasants have seen this ghost. Others who have come to this fair city to take the waters and enjoy the gaming tables have seen him too. The rumor claims that if you're not Mauricadian, and if you are unlucky enough to see the Reaper, you should flee at once, for this fearsome phantom," Cloutier lowered his voice in pitch and volume, "is a sign of impending doom."